This conference will now be recorded.
Maybe we'll get done in time to see Nebraska play.
They really needed feedback on the CDBG after the conversation with Craig. I don't know. Back to that Vegas thing. But I guess this is she's typing. She said that she just messaged someone. I'll be there remotely, but it's not letting me log in. She says I may have to call in. I'm trying to get in.
There she goes.
We can open it then. We have a quorum. Make sure she. Stephanie, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Perfect, thank you. You make us a quorum. All right, I'd like to open the meeting of August 28th with the roll call of the council. Stephanie Selly.
Here.
John Way.
Here.
Commissioner Nehan is absent. Commissioner Abernathy is absent. Commissioner Hardy.
Here.
All right, if we could all please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Public comment on non-agenda items. Second call for public comment on non-agenda.
Myron Walmo. I feel it's ironic how it's just said in the last few minutes, throwing numbers around, creating liability for the Ennis taxpayer. But what about some of the details of the liabilities being discussed? Such as, does Ennis have 24/7 law enforcement coverage? And if so, has the interlocal agreement been approved by the commission, and at what cost? On the 18th of this month, the Madison County IT department was supposed to access the town of Ennis computer system. Has that action been completed? Or if not, why not? So does the town of Ennis currently have a contracted IT department? And was the contract approved by the commission? If so, what is the cost of the contract? Integrity, honesty, and transparency are the very moral fabric that holds the community together. And at this point, this community has hit the lowest level in existence. Thank you.
All right, last call for public comment on non-agenda items. All right, unscheduled matters. Oh, wait, sorry. Discussion on CDBG. Oh, I wrote GG, CDBG, sorry. All right. So you approved the contract for Great West to do the grant for 10,000, but I said, yes, there's this follow-up conversation I'm having Monday. So after that conversation with Craig, I kind of was more like, give me a number. What's the percentage? What's a number that I can take back of our success, our chance at success to this council? What do you think is realistic? He said, best chance 30%. So I wanted to bring that back to you to go, is it worth a low chance of 30% to spend 10,000 to approach the CDBG for 750, changing the water rates by $4 a month per user?
30%.
30%. And that's, he's not feeling like a strong 30. And the problem is that we have reserved cash that they're saying, ooh, you have all the money that you need. You have basically 400 in reserve cash that is going against us. And I'm saying to them, just last October, we had a repair that cost $91,000, and that was with getting EPA, EPA to kick in an additional 78,000 in mitigation for hydrocarbon problem that we had. That was one repair. So if we hadn't got that extra in there, we're looking at closer to $160,000 in one repair. So yes, that 400,000 looks like primo to primo, like, oh yeah, we're rolling an extra dough. But the reality is, it's basically two harsh repairs within 2 blocks of Main Street. And they look at median income only, not housing stock cost as compared to median income. And I think that is a shortcoming in the grant itself that really at some point needs to be evaluated. So with that in mind, they're not changing their criteria. We just have a bigger hill to climb to get it.
30%.
30%. I'll execute the contract and call Craig if you want me to, but
The average hand of blackjack is 30%.
see, I was like, somebody that's been to Vegas needs to make this final call.
I'm not saying we do it. I'm just saying that there's people that take that 30% and make a lot of money. I'm not usually one of them. Wager 10K at 30% for possible, what was the grant?
750. I know, that's what I said. So it's like, I know you guys said yes, do it, but I really wanted you to hear that and go.
I think you just have to listen to what he says.
that he's even less than 30%.
It's gonna be
Are
a,
they gonna include in the grant what you just summarized?
Yes.
That we
And
have
that
an
we've
aging-
gathered
that
all-
we have an aging system, and that cost of repairs, maybe not over once, but over.
yes, we gathered all the repairs that we've done in the last 4 years, and every single one on Main Street's had the hydrocarbons. And he's like, and that needs to play in long term, because if you were to do an actual project downtown, a pre-planned project, not an emergency, you are going to have a nightmare of bidding because nobody knows what they're getting into price wise. So to bid that project is going to be very high. So you need to keep your cash high, but it's working against you right now. So we're in this, we've been responsible with our money, and we have a very unique situation.
And we're not eligible for this next year because our town is too
hmm
population.
So yeah, Craig's gonna give it all he's got. If we go for it, we're including all the numbers, all the repairs, and not just what we paid, because on our sheets it says here's the 91,000. We're including what was booted in because of that isn't always guaranteed to happen.
Sheridan just had a water main break a couple days ago.
I'm fine with the gamble, but there's 3 of us here, so ask the other 2.
Stephanie, thoughts? Do we apply for the CDBG? Stephanie.
I'm thinking on that. I'm thinking on it. I'm kind of like, I'm not much of a gambler, but 10 is a drop compared to 750. 30% isn't great odds, and it's not my personal money. If it was my personal money, it would probably be easy. I'd say, let's go for it. But it's the town's money. So, is there anyone that objects it that would like to speak that hasn't spoke on that subject?
Anything from the room? Thoughts on this?
I'm just trying to recall, were we like 28 out of 32 towns that applied for it last year, and that's
That-
kind of a replacement?
No, that was when we did our MSEP.
Yeah, the coal and down there.
CDBG is by far the most competitive. Projects of this size, they had 16 applicants, and that's where he's expecting a few more this year. And that's where he came up with the 30%.
And how many people get this?
There's 3 million. 3 million available in CDBG this year for
So
this
here's
cycle.
the question: do you have to apply for the whole 750?
Could you apply for you could.
You could apply for $200,000 for, and that's still, 20 times your money, and maybe a greater chance of getting it as opposed to trying to take a third of the money from. But I don't know, that might be a question for Craig on how they award projects. Do they try to award as many as they can, or do they award from
Based on need.
based on need?
So it's really comes down to, can we effectively show that, while yes, we have this reserve, that reserve is needed for very expensive projects that pop up from time to time around here. The year before, we were sitting closer to 2 years before that, it was 160 in repairs. So again, we basically have 2 major repairs, major incidents, and then a little left over.
What can we do to fulfill the question you just asked about showing them, proving to them that we do need this? Do we get to present our case with documentation,
Yep.
bring people out? How do we do that?
It'll all be in the application itself. And Craig, we're getting him all those numbers from all those projects so that he can include it in the grant, so that it's the justification for our cash reserve. And to show how that cash reserve has gone down over time because of these projects. Unforeseen emergencies is how I should actually put that. These were not planned projects. These were bad days. This was a service line that turned into a main line. So
I think I would rather look at the people of Ennis. If no one's going to speak and say anything, probably at this point, I would look at it and say, I'd rather look at the people of Ennis and tell them that I lost $10,000 than I had to say, well, I didn't gamble and try to get the 750. So if anybody feels different and wants to help change my mind on that, please do so.
Do we know if Great West Engineering is representing any others
yes, they are.
in grant applications? So they're competing against themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not, is it gonna be 4 grants? So 750 times 4 is 3 million, but when you mentioned that we could potentially just ask for less. Would that increase our chances of getting it? Probably, if they're actually taking into consideration our need.
But if you ask for $400,000 and you have $400,000, does it really need?
Right.
So, do we know how many they're representing? I mean, I think it's
didn't
fine.
ask
It's
how
fine.
many.
It's interesting that they're basically competing against themselves. So, I still think it is it would be a payout, although I think we need to also consider that we paid them $14,000 for the application that was denied last year. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
So it's more of a $24,000 gamble than just a $10,000 gamble. Well, it's an additional $10,000 gamble. But that being said, if he's willing to, do we get to review the other applications that he submits on behalf of other towns to know that he's putting his best foot forward for us?
Where does the 10,000 that would be paid to them, where does that come from?
It comes from water.
So Eric, what are your thoughts since it'd be coming from?
Oh, will you go up so staff can hear you?
My thoughts, and here's how I see it. I don't see why you wouldn't. It's $10,000. The payoff would be too good. I think personally, me, if I was sitting in your seats, I would try it.
So you would be comfortable losing that money? That's
Yeah.
if we didn't get it.
I mean, I almost feel like an obligation to at least try. Because that's a lot of money of what we have going on. That's kind of the way I feel about it. It's like, it's almost doing everything you can, the way I see it.
Does anybody know, is Craig allowed to discuss sure he would, should be, other towns' situations, financial?
Mm-mm. And we can look at the last round of CDBGs, because those that didn't get it are probably more than likely going to apply for the same thing. So, and those are all there. They can tell you where they docked points. Same as ours. Yeah, because we have to do a public hearing as part of that process for CDBG, in which the public can say, these are our priorities. You remember this stickers? And we have to publicized for that, and that would be for the September meeting, and Craig could come down for that. And I need to tell him continue to work on it. He's been working, kind of giving us ideas.
It'd be easier to come up with 10 that we lost than it would be 750 that we didn't attempt to get.
I say go for it.
Okay. Is that the consensus?
Sounds like
Okay, I will execute the contract that you approved then. Great. Unscheduled matters.
I got something.
Okay.
I've been working with the sheriff over the last week, and we have a draft interlocal agreement produced. I think we ought to have a meeting next week and to discuss and vote on said agreement.
Has the attorney seen this?
We have the third draft of it, and he will see it as soon as the fourth draft comes in.
Okay. Ed is out of town until the 3rd.
We've
So-
been in contact with him, so.
Okay. Sounds good. So as long as Ed has time to
Mhm.
look at it.
We had another revision today, some little stuff that didn't get cleaned up in the last one, but once the final revision comes in, then our attorney will take a look at it.
Perfect.
So
So with that in mind, it kind of changes how the whole budget is. So do you
Yeah.
think it's ready for next Thursday?
100%. It'll be ready tomorrow, maybe. Probably not. What
And
day is today? Third, no, it'll be ready the end of the day tomorrow, hopefully.
okay, but Ed's gone until the 3rd.
Yeah, and we have to have it posted 48 hours prior to the meeting, correct?
I'm trying to think. So Monday's the 1st, 2nd, Wednesday Ed is back. Right? Yes.
yes, Wednesday.
Yeah, we could, I mean,
Or we could, what's the Monday before that? Like that. I can't see that. That's August. The 8th. And that would give him the weekend.
yeah, I think we ought to.
Because that would
if
get,
Next Thursday works, that would be ideal.
that would be without legal review.
Hey, we'll get to it.
Okay. Let's just plan on that.
What's that?
We'll plan on that and hope that Ed gets
And
to
we
it,
could talk about it pending final review
the attorney.
from the attorney.
All right. And it's written as an interlocal, right?
It is.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Well, we'll schedule that for next Thursday. I don't think we need to add anything else to Thursday.
No, I think this will
That's
take
enough.
up,
Okay.
this will be fun.
Adjourn from this, and then do we want to do budget or do we want to do that? Because it'll,
Well, I think we could probably do, like, today, do interlocal agreement and then budget work session afterwards if we still got to do budget. Does that make sense? Or,
yeah. Okay. Let's adjourn and then we'll do a couple things on budget, but
Yeah.
get through some of it. All right.
because however this goes, we gotta
Have some other
rework.
things. Yeah, rework stuff. All right. You want to move to adjourn?
I moved to adjourn.
I said,
Sally, ready to adjourn and go into work session?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
All right. So, part of this budget part, Eric is taking off, but he found what we were talking about in our last budget section. So we'd budgeted 80,000 additional for a back trailer. And as per the norm, things fall into place sometimes before we're ready for them. So he went to Missoula and looked at a 2024, and I'll let him tell you about what he
When
found.
we got done, I felt really good about it. And I just made a call to a guy I was talking to last time when this was going around, and they happened to have that piece of equipment used sitting in their yard. And so I had to go and look at it. And honestly, the only bad thing I seen on it would be that it was stored outside and a little discolored. You know, it's a 2024 unit. Last year with 158 hours on it, 1,000-hour warranty at 58,000. Some change.
Couple of things. If this breaks, can you fix it?
And
Parts
the parts are close. The Vermeer companies are actually working on opening a shop in Helena. So yes, the parts are there. They're in Missoula, Billings. They're all over.
it's not an off-brand, it's a,
No.
This is no. Honestly, why I called them is because when I'm driving around other towns and I see the bigger towns have this equipment, it's that brand.
Mhm.
That's why I kind of called them. Yeah,
and it's warranted to 1,000 hours. We've got 150 some hours on it.
158.
And it's transferable. That was the first question we asked, is the warranty transferable?
That was gonna be my next question.
It is. So we checked that too.
There's still, you wouldn't put,
Probably about
I don't know.
if Missoula's running 158.
We're not,
curious on how long.
we don't use it for an hour to, well, maybe if you were digging a hole with it, but a couple hundred.
I was just curious on how long that 1,000 hours.
We do use it a lot. We do use that.
I would say probably about 158 hours a year.
And if it was,
Probably it's a 24, so.
if it was here, I could see us using it
And it,
regularly.
and it looks like, in your opinion, been well maintained. It's only a year old.
So Vermeer had this, and this fiber company was going to buy it. They kept it for a year. They did all the maintenance on it. I have the maintenance records on the machine from them. It's just been in for oil changes. I think a wire fell off the fuel gauge once.
Sounds like,
It was already kind of in our budget thing, and I don't want to miss the chance at it because we were at 80,000 and this is,
yeah, I mean, it sounds like a good deal to me.
so we were like, that's what we wanted to talk about because he has the ability to pick it up on his way back.
He's good. He said he'd deliver it.
Oh, perfect. Even better. I love delivered items.
Yeah.
How much more to deliver it?
Nothing.
Okay.
Sounds like a good deal to me.
It was 50.
58. 58,035 or something.
Brand new 2025 is 99 something.
Might better go ahead and get it.
So that's in the
Do we need a
budget.
motion because the budget
Yeah.
hasn't been approved?
It's more like we wanted this discussion item because Eric's not going to be here for the next meeting to discuss whether or not.
Mhm.
So it's not in an approved budget,
Yeah,
but we put that number as higher than what we in our previous work session. And it doesn't change any of the other funds.
And
I'm fine, with- yeah.
but I'd like to leave that 80 number there. Just for looking for a heavier duty truck to pull on this.
So you're talking about leaving the remainder balance from 58 to 80 sitting there. Okay, not the full 80.
No,
No.
not the full 8, the reminder.
To look for a 3/4 ton instead of the half tons that we have.
I'm fine buying this equipment. It sounds like the right deal.
I can't find anything wrong with it. And I've tried, trust me, I've tried.
And 99 is a lot for
Yeah.
100. I mean, the difference between 58 and 99 for 158 hours, I think it's okay as a savings, especially where we still have warranty. I'd say
I
probably
think the town
2
needs
years
it.
with warranty.
Yeah. And we need it. We know we need it.
And to be clear, you're not going to loan this to our folks over the hill when the Mad
I
Town
don't think
one.
you can. I think, honestly, I would help them out anytime they needed, but
It would be
Not a
under
bl- Not a blind take it and go.
your operation if they needed it.
I absolutely would help them out. Like, believe me, I would. If I needed to help them out, I'd run it.
Yeah.
I think.
If my younger brother were here, he's not, but he would say to offer 5,000 less for it.
I did.
We did.
I actually got the price down, so.
Yeah.
From when we started at 62.
So it's 40.
I did.
40.
He's like, I'm gonna offer him a little
honestly-
less.
I wanted 55, but.
That seems pretty new. It's 42% of the cost of a new one, less.
With the bigger, it has a bigger swell tank, so it's 500 gallons. Our other one's a 200-gallon tank, so this one could actually clean the manhole out if we, that one.
All right. What else in Eric's for
Clothing,
changes?
allowance,
That's not really a
that's
change.
about it. The other three. Two 26. So. Video 240, 226. Clothing and uniforms.
Oh yeah.
What page is that?
We added it into
All three.
different accounts. It is in streets, I believe.
Yeah,
Streets, water, sewer. And it was 1,066 in each, coming out of each of those for their uniforms, boots,
Gloves.
and gloves.
Is that you guys are going to be the only uniform portion of the town? Is that
Yeah,
safe?
I mean, the rest of you can do it, but we are gonna be,
Susie, you could borrow a
very
hoodie.
bright, mind you, very bright. Lime green, annoying bright. Yeah.
But that was the only change there that I remember
That's all of it.
for Eric's stuff. We updated the library based off of Karen's updated after the decision to go with option B, which will have that resolution on the September meeting for that official determination. Okay. So that's it, pretty much it for Eric's, unless you have more questions. Do we feel comfortable with that one? All right.
I think this budget is pretty bare bones. I'm not seeing the parts I don't really know. Get to that later. Address it later.
So, and the other portion that we have is we went with the outline from Great West on the 10,516, if I remember right. 10,000 and I think it was right, 10,500 as our contribution, our cash contribution into the water projects. So they said you can change that number and up it, and it shows more of a good faith. But I'm also always nervous about a cash reserve for those reasons. So it's a number we can change if we want to. I wanted to see, Craig's supposed to run me numbers off of um, with the interest, principal interest, and changing it on different contribution levels. But I'd want to leave a heavy safety net in water and sewer, and water, I mean. For definitely, I would hate to be like, sorry, we have to take a loan to pay for our emergency repair. We already know we have a loan for and I don't want to back us into a corner of a bad day, an extra bad day.
It's 10,000 on 4 million.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason to put any extra in would be to lower interest costs.
Mm-hmm. And I thought it was one of those things you could amend later too to the project if you chose after the CDBG. You know, that determination comes in October. You can be like, all right, you know, we're a little bit more comfortable with our room. We can talk about an additional amount towards the project. And half of that project also falls in the next fiscal year. So you can be like, this year, this is the amount. The well is not the major expense of the project. It's the storage facility anyway. So there's the option to add more next year after you've already done the rate increase. And there's that too, a little extra income to it. So I'd say leave it for now. And then if you want to change something after we find a determination in October, go for that. No, rate has to be done by project completion. That being said, I would still say we do sewer at the same time because you are eligible for more if you are above, at or above target rate. So we were below target rate when we applied for MSEP, so we couldn't apply for any more. Had we been at target rate, we could have applied for up to 750. If we'd been at 25% over target, you can apply for the full amount of 750. 10% 650. If I remember right. So thoughts there? I would just leave it, and that's how I wrote it, but I'm up for.
Are we still shooting for doing water rate increase in October?
Mm-hmm.
And water and sewer?
Mm-hmm. I would like to just do them together. You have to hold the hearings anyway. Just do it together.
So if we approve it in October, when does it go into effect?
The water rates,
Yeah.
it starts at hearings in October. So you'll complete them, that 2 hearings in October, and then you're into 30 days, so not until end of November. So right in time for the holidays. That's unfortunate. Are we through those ones?
What is our current cash reserves?
Current cash reserves? For which?
For general fund.
For general fund. Sorry.
End of the year, Nikki, we had like 168.
I was like, where's my long sheet? That's my easy answer. So 168.
Okay. So just looking, currently, and I just have the budget from last week, I guess. So, based on that, just looking at, general fund, we have expenditures at 954, 891. And revenues of general fund of 768, 146. That leaves us with a deficit of $186,000, 745. So I'm just curious as to, and if we have cash reserves of $168,000, as to where that'll come from, just in general fund.
Until we get final numbers, we're not gonna know that. And we're talking like the sheriff's coming in because, I mean, the law enforcement was in there at that number. And I mean, those numbers are changing. That's hard to answer until we have final numbers in general fund, as far as expenditures.
And there was quite a few items in capital improvement. That can be adjusted too, to make up for the change.
Really, Nikki, all we have in there is the 25,000 for the ADA. The other goes to economic development and tree fund,
Correct.
as far as those transfers.
Where's that page? And those were based off of our original long sheets on our first budget. We'd had over our 50% was allowed, so we moved those into capital improvement to try and balance it down to not having too much over our 50%. Does that make sense?
50% of what? Excuse me. So
You're not allowed more than 50%.
Your ending cash can't be more than 50% of your appropriations.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And in our original sheets, they were, so that's when we moved things into capital improvement. But that was based off the first set of numbers for expenditures.
So I guess really,
Your microphone
until you,
is off.
really until we have that number from the sheriff's office, that contract, it would be kind of a moot point to continue with budget discussions till that. Does that make sense? I mean, because if you're
Yeah.
$186,000 off with a still a wild card in there, you're not going to know how much you need to adjust other numbers as well, right? Because that is the meat and potatoes are the biggest wild card essentially.
I would think so.
All right, so do we want to just call it a night then?
No, I'm fine. I think it's probably the best thing.
And I'm here. It's up to y'all. If there's something else that you want to discuss that maybe doesn't, necessarily pertain to that, or anything else we can knock out, it's fine with me. If not, we can do it again next week.
The wage breakdown that was in the packet, how was that, like, where did all those numbers come from? I'm having a hard time understanding. Is that previous year? Is that year to date? Is that expected for next year? Because I looked at like the previous years and there was just the resolutions for the wages, but it was by hour, not by this.
So these are totals for this budget year that we're working on,
Okay.
is what that is.
So it's,
And it's how department heads have broken down percentages into each fund and account.
so
So
will we still see the hourly as well? Like
Yes,
we have
you
previously?
have to do a full resolution just like you do every other year.
Okay, so, but that resolution has to be done before the budget can be completed, correct?
Correct.
So we'll see that maybe next week.
I mean, I can break down further what is there
Like when will they vote on that, I guess?
before October 1st.
First.
Okay. Thank you.
We're going to push this year and be on time.
And the only other thing that I haven't gotten a solid answer on is if STIP is going to stay right where it's at. We've been at 5%, which has been really amazing. Our
It
short
has started going down a little bit.
it's a little bit, so if you see on like water and sewer, a good example where our revenues on interest we have it at 50,000 and we brought in 53 last year. So we're predicting it to go down a little bit, but we've made significant interest putting it in STIP and having the bank renegotiate. It's taken us from previous numbers in 21, 22, I think it was 6,000 up to 53,000. So
Great. Yeah, good job with that.
let's hope that stays where it's at for a little bit longer. But yeah, they're starting to trend down. So
That's where you're getting your money in water and sewer. All that interest goes into for the future.
Sure.
that little hoard that we want is off of our interest. And okay, all right. Well, next Thursday then. Then that'll give us the ability to plug numbers in.
Yep.
Okay, sounds good. See you next Thursday.
And so to have it, the interlocal agreement posted for Thursday, we have to have it posted Tuesday at the latest, right?
Correct.
I just don't want to miss a loophole that,
Correct.
okay. I'll make it work. I just didn't want to miss a loophole and get caught somewhere.
Oh, yeah, we'll all agree that since that's the only item on the agenda, that we're kind of bending the policy of having it to meet, which is no later than this Friday, so like tomorrow
I thought it was 48.
for notice, but for the policy for actually getting things into me so that I don't mess up agendas.
Mhm.
But I know that is coming Monday evening, let's
Yeah.
say, so that I can have it ready to post.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. All right, we'll see you next Thursday.
Thanks, Stephanie.
Thanks,
Hey,
Steph,
Eric,
for making
You have
us
to
a
go back to
thing.
Missoula to get that thing, or they're going to deliver it?
They bring it down next Monday.
Sweet. I was going to say, if you're going to Missoula, stop at a Notorious PIG and eat.
I'm gonna stop it. I just.
It's worth the trip to Missoula just to eat the Notorious PIG.
I heard about it and I thought about it, but.
Notorious PIG,
Oh.
it's a barbecue place.
I went there when we were at the convention.
Oh, it's,
I got there really enough to get the place.
Oh, yeah. That's why you went to Missoula. I'm like, you didn't bring any back? That's a standing rule from here on out.
Well,
Yeah.
that was a load too, you
Yeah.
know? It is really good.
Oh. So I said I'd drive there to.
Flower tea. I think it might be sleepy time tea. Well, it's flowers. Yeah, I think they're like chamomile, maybe. I actually don't know what kind of flowers they are. Yeah.
They're not like.
So you're gonna like name this machine, put a sticker on it, like the crap sucker 1000 or something like
I
that?
think maybe we should let the kids at the school name it.
Yeah.
More importantly, are your uniforms gonna have logos on them?
You guys are gonna be looking sharp.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to do it since I got it.
I mean,
But really like, what you don't expect employees to say.
yeah,
Kind of unexpected.
I know, all my employees are in logo, you know what I mean, provided by me.
Yeah.
Hey, Brenna, I think you can leave it out. We don't have court Monday or anything.
Are you sure?
Oh, no,
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
Labor
Day.
Okay, I'm just gonna leave what I put in already, and then I'll do it the later. Me too, yeah.
We're gonna make it a Nebraska game. Right.
She's not thinking too much, but she's a funny color. She's a funny color. No, pigment was. Pigment has a weird color. Right. I don't know anything about him. I know she had 30, has to do it in 30 days. Oh, no, it doesn't go that way though. They have to go through intentional. So like, she has to check with them. And see what's available. I think that's a great way to take it. They do some of their jail time in Townsend, they do some of some gals in Townsend. So you never know what jail check. Yeah, so. That's what happened. I'm really surprised she. Yeah, I think she would have went to jail